First, good afternoon po sa lahat ng aming mga PhilExport officers or key officials. We'll focus more on the first EMB for now, but we definitely can share some of the initiatives of the other DTI offices under export promotion and training. So our mandate as part of our key task is to support the Philippine Export Development Plan, and we are mandated to formulate, implement, monitor programs, plans, and strategies pertinent to the growth of the Philippine exports. We also conduct research on new product development and adaptation opportunities to open new foreign markets, as well as identify the domestic supply base for our exportable products. And we continue to conduct business matching and trade facilitation. We also maintain an integrated information system covering all aspects of the export marketing mandate to serve the needs of the Philippine exporting community. So this is primarily the trade line. So our key services, as we all know, at the onset of COVID, we had to go full digital. So the DTI services under our export assistance, business matching, trade complaints, accreditation, market and product consultancy, and hybrid on how we now conduct business missions or business matching, and our knowledge processing are done online. So this is very important from us. This is like the EMB's journey on our data analytics, and we take pride as well as the progress that we've done through, of course, the full support we got from Director Perlada. So even before this was the digital transformation is a buzzword, we already have been initiating on our own our journey towards digital transformation. And we started it off in 2013, and then we are now on hopefully moving towards prescriptive, as we have been working with Cubina on our predictive analytics. So as I mentioned, one of our mandate is to maintain an integrated information system for anything related to export. And this is our trade line. We have an open data where you can actually download on our interactive trade statistics module on export and import data on a monthly, we update them on a monthly basis. We have also set up this chatbot. We call it the Export Virtual Assistant. So we enjoin you to visit TradeLine, help us make even more intelligent by asking the right questions. And if the questions are not responded well, please feedback us so that we can feed on this virtual assistant. We also have a business matching portal. This is automated. If a certain buyer is in our database and you are a verified exporters, you will actually see whether you have a match from our foreign buyers' interest. We also have posted many market intelligence digests based from our current subscriptions, especially from Mintel and Euromonitor. And a lot of advisories have been posted regarding market regulations, which we have, I think we've observed that there have been many, and I can cite some examples like from China, from Australia, and the likes. So an innovative support that we extended to our MSME exporters last year was the onboarding to global online marketplaces, working with a startup, a tech startup, EasyFulfill. So we have onboarded 81 MSME exporters. They're currently have live listings in Amazon, eBay, and Etsy. So the counting would be on a product level. We also continue to do our business matching. These are scheduled, and we work closely with our posts as well as from our Philippine embassies. And I think we've done, even during COVID, 30 business matching sessions, and reported sales were $37 million US. We also have been working with the Kubo Innovation Hub, the first ever public-private innovation hub in partnership with the Idea Space. And this startup Pinay came into being because in one of the Philippine, the PwC report, it was found out that there were a small number of women-led tech startups. And so we initiated this track primarily to focus on women-founded, led tech startups. And so far, we have assisted 33 startups and we've promoted them internationally. We've done 7 outbound business matching missions, international pitching competitions. So far, reported investment access were around $2 million US, and one-on-one B2B meetings reported were 117. In last year, 2020, this was actually the last physical participation of our startup Pinay in an international competition in the USA, where one export won a 10,000 prize money. We are also working closely with PHILEXPORT in supporting this startup Pinay. We have carved out funds access from PHILEXPORT in support of our startup ecosystem. Another initiative that we have been pursuing and which we launched last Export Congress, in our last Export Congress, is the SheTrades Philippine Hub. This is in partnership with the SheTrades International Trade Center. The objective of this initiative is to connect more than 3 million women entrepreneurs to markets by 2021. But given the challenges brought about the pandemic, this will have to be extended. So a lot of offerings for our women exporters. So we enjoin them to please register at the SheTrades Hub. So you can just search SheTrades Hub, and for our women exporters, please register. So this is if you register as a seller, you can be connected with global businesses. You can, of course, export products and services. You can also enroll and learn from free e-learning materials from the International Trade Center, participate in workshops, trade fairs, and other business events. We also are supporting 2 key programs from various development aid partner. This ASEAN Regional Integration Support Philippine Trade-Related Technical Assistance, or ARISE plus Philippines, sorry, wrong spelling. This is in partnership with the EU and ITC. So a lot of the components on the ARISE are geared towards exports, and a lot also on capacity building. So we hope to work with PHILEXPORT and other business support organizations as this will be implemented by next year. And we are also actively supporting the Mindanao Agro Enterprise Development Project. This is an ADB project, and there are 3 main components. It's really enticing more private investments in the agro-industry value chain, also improving agricultural logistics and services, and a lot also to do on product quality and competitiveness so that we can enter more markets. Overall, for the DTI, as we are currently in our strategic planning, we're trying to harmonize the many offerings we have for enterprise development. And we're hoping that we can have one track and for enterprise development. However, if the interest is geared towards exports, it's going to be EMB, the Trade Promotion Group, who will support. And we are implementing an accelerator program we called Ripples. So this is how we will track. We need to map our export champions or those with potentials to go into niche marketing and identify the products favorable for exports. So this is how we work with the other groups within DTI, regional operations groups, primarily because our exporters, they're all based in the provinces in the region. So all the initiatives they're doing, whether it's the Mentor Me, OTOP, it's really geared towards how we can hopefully support more export-oriented businesses. However, if at certain point they're just focused on the domestic market, then we just need to look at those interested businesses to go into our Export Accelerator program, where we work also with the CITEM as well as with the Post, Foreign Trade Service Corps, and the Board of Investment. So the Ripples Acceleration Program, we're trying to identify map the export champions, other segmentized sectors. And the idea is to identify new products and services for promotion, also identify new markets where we can diversify, and for existing exports products, hopefully we can mainstream them into key markets. And of course, the objective would be to increase exports. So we're trying to draw up specific action plans for our key strategies under this program. Just to provide a review of our Philippine Export Development Plan 2018-2022, specifically on Strategy 2, we of course have to highlight that the PEDP is subsumed under the Philippine Development Plan 2017 to 2022. And during the COVID period, we had to revisit the targets for the PEDP 2018 to 2022, and the revisions and targets as discussed at the EDC were approved this January. So for Strategy 2, as aligned with the key objective of this PHILEXPORT in possession for exporters, it's how we maximize the current and prospective opportunities from our trading arrangements. So we have identified 4 key export sectors under the PEDP 2018-2022. These are electronics, processed food and beverage, IT/BPM, business services, and tourism and travel-related goods. We all know that because of the pandemic, we actually had a negative growth for both our goods and services export. And the hardest hit was, of course, the travel-related sector. For our current preferential trade arrangements, we are with 7 free trade agreements. And these are under the ambit of the ASEAN regional FTA. And we have 2 bilaterals with Japan. And as mentioned by Tish kanina from DA, we have with the European Free Trade Association, Switzerland, Liechtenstein, Norway, and Iceland. And currently, we have an existing GSP Plus scheme with the EU, GPT for Canada, and also GSP with Russia. We're hoping that we can still renew our GSP with US. And just looking at this engagement with other trade partners, you would see obviously a lot of opportunities where we can promote or export products and services. And I would assume that the RCEP was discussed lengthily by the BITR or by ASEC Alan, but just to, in a way, again, recap it, this is ASEAN-centric, it's ASEAN-led, and we really are looking that we benefit from it because Philippines, actually, 50% of the global manufacturing output are from this RCEP, 50% of course of global automotive output, 70%, 26% of GVC and trade value, and the main GVC hubs of Japan and China and Korea, participating for like the GVC for electrical machinery and the contribution to the global exports of electronics and machineries. So it's a huge market, and we hope that we can really benefit from it. And as the study would tell us, we would stand to gain from RCEP because it offers cheaper costs because of the unified rules of origin. So there will be less barrier, it's trade facilitative. There's now one set of rules for Philippine exporters to access FTA markets, and hopefully we can be competitive because of the laid out legislation for the stable, predictable business environment in attracting more investments in the country. And with the CREATE bill, we really are hoping to have more export-oriented investments come into the country. And of course, the complementation, it's important that we also looked into how we can improve the participation of our MSMEs as well as financial services, enhance the regime for the telecom sector, very important in this digital economy, and for PH to become an investment hub for other trading partners. And of course, in engaging for more economic and technical cooperation. So just an overview of our 2020 top export markets. These top 10 export markets, they already comprise 84.30% of our overall exports in 2020. So our #1 export market last year was Japan. And these are actually our traditional trade partners. And we really hope that we can diversify to new markets. And our top 20 export products or sectors, number one would be electronics, hovering at 58% share of total exports, other manufacturers, machinery, and transport. If we now combine other electronics with these electronic products, you would see that already it's more than 60%. And other mineral products, bananas, I think this is the only agri product that is in our top 10 export products. And then, of course, we have minerals, copper and gold. And then we have chemicals, and the combined export of processed food and beverage is they're at top 9. So just to share, these are new market trends amidst this pandemic. And this is sourced from the Euromonitor 2021. I will not go over them one by one, but we just have to realize that emerging habits have accelerated, and how we now behave, spend, and consume will never, ever be the same. So still at 2021, we are adjusting some of our actions, which can differ amongst consumers. That's really identifying your market, your target market, and your consumer base. And sometimes there would be conflict. So it's important that we continue to be resilient, and we are able to adapt so that we can immerse ourselves into this new global consumer trends. So just to share, this is how it looks for culture. A lot to do on outdoor redesigning, new gaming frontiers, animation, the future of live events. I think in this pandemic, because there were no live events, we are constrained to just register for live streaming. And actually, I experienced one live streaming event this year, and it's not the same, but it can, it's a substitute. But I think there needs to be an evolution on how Philippines conducts more live concerts. Mobilizing fandom, I think this is really how the K-pop, the C-pop, and now we see P-pop that had really emerged that they can dictate on how brands are now. I think you've kind of noticed that for the Philippines, there are a lot of K-pop artists, not K-pop, or Korean artists who are now being sought after by our leading brands to really promote their products and even their services. And for food and drink, a lot on adventure dining, climate-friendly diets, antimicrobial packaging, and Asia has gone plant-based, and I think this is the way to go. There are 3 hot food ingredients cited in the report: the Sichuan peppercorn, homegrown herbs for teas, and koji. And for beauty, Unbound Beauty, forage ingredients, science backgrounds, and so much. So we'll share these slides with you so that you can do more readings on them. So hopefully we can also work with DOST as they looked into trends or focus sectors under the food industry that they can do more research. And then retail, we all know that we're now constrained to do more online as the lockdowns have been in a way been revived, and a lot to do, of course, on e-commerce. And brands and marketing, who would have thought that TikTok ads would be big? Yeah. And then on work, micropreneurs, at-home empires, workations, and it's not only work from home now, it's work from everywhere. And then travel and hospitality, we all know that this is the most challenged sector. So we've seen member-based services really targeting on how they can still provide this experiential offerings to their members, incentivize travel, etc., etc. And for health, it's all about immunity wellness and how we can continue to boost our immunity. Tech and innovation, virtual athletics, data sustainability, a lot to do on data. So COVID-19 has intensified interest in boosting immune, and this data will speak for themselves. In Germany, 42% of functional food consumers agree that they now use fortified functional food and drink to support their immune system. In the US, 86% of consumers agree eating healthy is important, And in China, 70% of adults regularly include immune-boosting food in their diet. So if you're interested in this particular countries, especially if you're in the food sector or health business, this is how they see the growth of global food and drinks. For Europe, COVID-19 has the potential to accelerate the growth of veganism, go vegan, go plant-based. Younger people are also demonstrating a marked interest in improving their diets in Europe. And in a recent market intelligence study for the Philippines under the European Free Trade Agreements, the findings were calamansi has big potential in the European market. Coconut products are sought after in Europe. The moringa has high financial potential in Europe, and there's strong demand for carrageenan. Europe is the largest market for frozen fruit. Europe is a growing market for purees, and pili nut can be high-end product in Europe, and dried mango and banana chips are top dried food choices in Europe. So if you would like to study further this market reports, they can be downloaded from TradeLine. So for the Nordic region, there is demand for natural food and drink. Organic credentials are of lesser importance. That's how the Nordic region is. And the negative mental health effects of COVID-19 will create a wave of demand for food and drink that offer mental and emotional support. So COVID-19 has really impacted consumption habits, with people looking to food to help avoid lifestyle-related diseases. And for Middle East,
request you to please wrap up.
Okay, so COVID-19 has intensified interest in the immune support, 50%, and we see a lot of trend on plant-based. And of course, e-commerce, this is the way to go, and we will continue to move towards this. These are just figures on e-commerce, emphasizing how important it is. And knowing that, we do have this study of the digital economy in the Philippines and the interventions of the government, whether they be bills or programs. And we really enjoined all businesses to look into innovation. As mentioned, there are different types of innovation. You look into every aspect of your business model and see how you can innovate. And this is just looking at it from 3 segments, from configuration to offering to experience. So in every step of the way, you actually can assess how you can innovate. And this is important for DTI. Entrepreneurship is one of the fastest ways to diffuse wealth among Filipino people. And for export, it's critical because we actually contribute directly to the growth of the GDP. And we need to boost more export because the metric is net export minus import. So thank you very much. If you're interested, you can just scan this and download the link of TradeLine for more of the reports that I cited a while ago. Thank you so much.